right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Milder air arrives Sunday, then a spring-like week until Friday when you'll need your winter coat.
This is my birthday gift to me every year.
Spreading love to victims of domestic violence. A look inside the creative idea to provide victims with essentials ahead of Valentine's Day. But first, a 17-year-old killed overnight in North St. Louis County. Tonight, the victim's sister sharing what happened. Good evening, I'm Brent Solomon. A St. Louis County family is now planning a teen's funeral after he was gunned down in front of his own home. 3 teens were arrested in that deadly shooting. New tonight, our Justina Cornell is the only television reporter that the victim's sister is speaking with today. Justina.
Yeah, Brent, so this crime happened almost exactly 24 hours ago at this time. That's when Maya Holland said she got a call that her teen brother was shot twice and was heading to the hospital. When she arrived, they said he had only about 30 minutes to live.
He had a lot of plans and goals for himself.
Maya Holland said her 17-year-old brother was eager for the future.
He really wanted to graduate and walk the stage.
But gun violence robbed Jaden McCain's livelihood on Friday night.
The kids in the car that, did that, they were too young for that.
Holland says she doesn't know the connection behind the crime, but she said her brother was at their home on the 1800 block of High Sun Drive in St. Louis County shortly before 10.
All I know is that he was outside. He was, I guess, walking back to the house. And there was maybe like 5 or 6 times they shot, but 2 of the bullets actually hit him in the back of the head.
That's when her friend and owner of the condo called her.
And they told her, try giving him CPR until everybody got there.
Holland rushed to the hospital, but McCain didn't make it.
Whatever the reason was that they did that to him, I don't think it was worth it, taking his life like that. He was so young.
She also learned 3 teens ages 15, 16, and 17 were arrested for second-degree murder.
I'm not sure if they go to school with him, maybe. Not only I had to lose someone that I loved, but, their families are losing people that they love,
Holland said her brother was loving, caring, and mature.
His mom passed when he was, I think, maybe like 5 or 6, and our dad just passed back in 2019. He's been through a lot, not having his parents. It really hurts. We've been through a lot the last 2 years with each other, and we've had to go through some things.
While the pain is piercing, Holland is comforted of where he could be going.
I'm happy he could be with his mom and his dad now. So, it hurts, but I know that he's happy and he's at peace.
Holland says she wants to bury her brother next to her father in St. Louis County, and she says support is needed now more than ever. And if you'd like to help, you can go find their GoFundMe on our website at KSTK.com and go to the section as seen on TV.
Justina, thank you. New tonight, a U.S. fighter jet shot down another unidentified object, this time over northern Canada. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tweeted that he gave the order to shoot it down over the Yukon Territory after the object violated Canada's airspace. And just a few hours ago, he spoke with President Biden. Recovery efforts are now underway, and Canada's defense minister says details are limited at this time.
We have no further details about the object at this time, other than it appears to be a small cylindrical object and smaller than the one that was downed off the coast of North Carolina.
Just yesterday, the U.S. military shot down a high-flying object over Alaska. And last week, the U.S. shot down a Chinese spy balloon off the Atlantic coast. Well, developing tonight, 3 people injured in a crash on Highway 30 in Jefferson County. It happened around 3 o'clock near Northwest High School. Police say a pickup truck going westbound did not see the stopped car and rear-ended it. One man was airlifted to the hospital. He is expected to recover. We're told the pickup driver was not driving under the influence. Right now, St. Louis police are looking for 2 men involved in a robbery and shooting in downtown West. It happened around 10:30 last night in a parking lot near 15th and Washington. Police say a group of people were standing by their cars when the suspects walked up and demanded their money at gunpoint. 4 people gave up their belongings. 3 other people got into their car and tried to drive away. That's when one suspect fired shots, hitting a man in the thigh. Both suspects then ran away, but they are in custody tonight. Well, next week, Lamar Johnson will find out if his 1995 murder conviction will be upheld or reversed. The St. Louis Circuit Court said the judge will make his decision on Tuesday afternoon. Johnson is convicted of the 1995 murder of Marcus Boyd, but he repeatedly denies he did it. Johnson spent nearly 28 years in prison. 5 on Your Side will provide updates on air and online when the judge rules. Today, a St. Louis nonprofit spreading some love to the community. The Diamond Diva Empowerment Foundation works with survivors of domestic violence. Today, they gave out love packages filled with personal hygiene products. The idea coming from a memory one of the organizers recalls from 10 years ago.
We went into one of the shelters, and I saw a lady go to the front desk for some personal hygiene product. I thought that was the most humiliating thing ever.
The foundation also passed out these, quote, love packages to other area nonprofits that help people in need. Diamond Diva also has a housing program where they help victims move into their own homes. With Valentine's Day now on the horizon, it's important to remember how to get rid of those balloons when you're done with them. Mylar balloons, which are those shiny metallic balloons, actually cause thousands of power outages each year when they float away and make contact with power lines. An alternative option is to use wish lanterns that are biodegradable. Other tips include keeping your balloons indoors and attached to a weight to prevent them from being released into the air. Super Bowl 57 is tomorrow, and the Missouri Capitol is getting into the fun. Check it out. The Capitol Dome is shining red and gold in honor of the Kansas City Chiefs. They will take on the Philadelphia Eagles in tomorrow's big game. Today, Missouri Governor Mike Parson met with Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro in Phoenix for a little friendly competition. They exchanged team flags and placed bets on who will win. The loser has to display the winning team's flag in their office for a day and send the other governor food.
You know, everybody always bets food or something like that, and I thought, hey, I want to exchange some flags. Let's make this interesting and kind of man up, and let's see where we go with this, but it's fun.
Now, if the Chiefs lose, Governor Parson will send Governor Shapiro Black Angus beef and chocolate-covered sunflower seeds. If the Eagles lose, Governor Shapiro will send soft pretzels, cheesesteaks, and mini donuts. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs have some new fans tonight. These are photos from the Healthcare's Women's Hospital in Columbia. The newborns are dressed in their Chiefs red, including many versions of Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, cheerleaders, and even a referee.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
An annual Mardi Gras tradition returning to the streets of Soulard, why one local runner comes back every year.
It's still being kept as a dirty little secret.
It's similar to solitary confinement, but for children. Our I-Team investigates the use of seclusion rooms in schools as a way to discipline disruptive behavior.
Milder air pushes temperatures up beginning tomorrow afternoon, but how long will it last? And I'll time out our next rain chances.
Well, a World War II nurse is being honored in the Metro East. Laverne Bowman of Belleville is 99 years old. Today, the Nurse Honor Guard came out to celebrate Bowman, who recently entered into hospice care. Ms. Bowman served as a nurse for nearly 70 years. We want to thank her for her service. To learn more about the Nurse Honor Guard, look for this story on the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Well, Mardi Gras season is ramping up in Soulard. This morning was the annual Run for Your Beads 5K. Runners dressed up in their colorful Mardi Gras costumes and began making their way down 8th Street and Lafayette Avenue. One loyal runner explains why he comes back every year.
I love it. I mean, it's cathartic. It's for health. It's for the competition. I mean, there's so many aspects of it that I love, and it keeps motivating me.
Now, the Taste of Soulard is also happening this weekend. You will be able to enjoy a variety of Cajun-inspired food at over 25 participating restaurants. That's tomorrow from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m.
And great weather for it, Brent. Look at this. I'm loving the Capitol, state capitol, red and gold there for the Chiefs. Go Chiefs. They're going to play in 76-degree weather in Glendale, Arizona tomorrow. What's our forecast? I think you'll like it. We'll have it coming up.
Well, they're pretty controversial, and critics call them harmful. They're called seclusion rooms, often used as a way to seclude students when they are being disruptive, similar to solitary confinement. Tonight, the I-Team's Paula Basan delves into new data that shows just how often they're being used.
This is healing. Soft. For 16-year-old Frankie Bono.
Do you have that side brushed well?
Yes.
It's his happy place. An escape from the trauma.
Lucky. He still has flashbacks.
Hey, slow down, slow down.
Frankie is remembering his time in seclusion rooms. They're often small rooms where kids seen as especially disruptive are placed.
It is discrimination based on disability.
The I-Team interviewed Tracy Bono a few years ago after she discovered what happened to her son, Frankie. He has autism.
They did not document and did not tell me, and then finally confessed to using them.
She now has him in private school.
But we really can't afford it.
Is she soft?
Right now, she's suing her son's former school district, Francis Howell, for discrimination. A school spokesperson tells us they can't comment on pending litigation. Bono believes schools shouldn't be using the rooms at all.
It's still being kept as a dirty little secret.
But she says parents around the state tell her educators are using seclusion as punishment. That's against state law.
This was one story I heard. My child refused to sharpen his pencil. He was put into the room.
A spokesperson with the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education says seclusion rooms are used in limited situations, mainly when a student's behavior poses a serious threat of harm to themselves or others.
What happened to my son, unfortunately, is not an out of the ordinary thing.
When we first reported on this topic, the state's education department didn't keep track of seclusion rooms. Now they do. And for the first time, we're seeing how often kids are being put in these rooms. In the past 6 months in Missouri, data shows there were more than 4,300 incidents of seclusion. Often the same kids are being put in these rooms over and over again. In some cases, the seclusion lasted more than 3 hours.
It's the tip of the iceberg.
The numbers show seclusion is happening to less than 1% of students in Missouri's public schools.
That's what they're voluntarily reporting. What are they not reporting?
The I-Team talked with at least 7 parents across the state who believe many students are suffering in silence.
That is the problem.
It's why Missouri lawmaker Ian Mackey created legislation that passed in 2021. It limited the use of seclusion rooms to the most serious incidents. It called on schools to report them. Problem is, parents tell the I-Team no one is holding them accountable.
Does your legislation go far enough?
No, we see very clearly it does not.
Is there a better alternative to seclusion rooms?
Yes.
Mackey requested $1 million in last year's state budget.
More resources for adults in school settings, particularly counselors and mental health professionals.
It's something Mackey says schools aren't prioritizing.
Walk.
It means students like Frankie will deal with the consequences of wounds you can't see.
Disability advocates we talked with say it's not just seclusion rooms we need to be worried about. It's also about restraint. The data we looked at shows schools broke the law at least 8 times when they used a type of restraint that can make it hard to breathe. It can cause injury, even death. Want to reach out to me about this story? Email Paula at ksdk.com. For the I-Team, Paula Basan, 5 on your side.
And the Missouri Department of Education and Secondary Education actually reports that there's a slight increase in the number of schools using those seclusion rooms. Disability advocates say that's an important step for transparency. Time now to get your weather first forecast. Jim Castillo is monitoring conditions for Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, so they're playing in Glendale, Arizona. It looks like a slight breeze in 76, but totally sunny there too. So really nice weather. And for us, you know, we've got Jefferson City right there, beautiful shot there of the Capitol. It is clear throughout Missouri and Illinois, and temperatures tonight down in the 20s again. We were at 22 this morning, probably 26 tonight, 49 though for that high today, and 45 is the average. So we're already starting to see above average temperatures. Tomorrow, we're in the 50s. Right now we're at 33, so almost freezing. It is a calm wind, and that humidity is really low. It's this dry air that's in place as high pressure remains overhead. So temperatures right now in the 20s in many areas from Warrenton to Chesterfield, DeSoto, Scott Air Force Base, and of course tonight's lows dropping down mainly in the mid-20s, a couple of spots in the low 20s. And so it's clear tonight and also for tomorrow, light wind expected. And as we go throughout the week, we have a couple systems we're watching. One in Southern California. This one has limited moisture with it, but this is our Tuesday system. So we'll watch that for some rain for Tuesday and some wind with it too as it deepens just to the north of us. Then another system comes our way for Wednesday night and Thursday. That's way out in the Pacific Ocean. Eventually, that one has an interesting track. Some of the models are taking it farther south, which means colder for us. But right now, it looks like just rain with that system too, but also windy on Thursday. But Tuesday, it's light rain and breezy for Valentine's, 54 degrees and probably just a quarter of an inch of rain or less. Then it is mainly sunny, by the way, from tomorrow through Monday. Monday night, the clouds roll in and you'll see that chance of showers in here all day Tuesday. Into Tuesday night, we get a break on Wednesday, and Wednesday with a strong southerly wind, we're going to pop those temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. So wouldn't be surprised to get close to a record high, but most of our record highs are a little bit higher than that. So look at this. This entire 10-day forecast is pretty much above average temperature-wise. So we've got 50s the next couple of days and sunshine, some rain on Tuesday, 54, and some wind. Then on Wednesday, 67. And probably a very sunny day. Then Thursday, a chance of showers in here, maybe some storms too overnight, Wednesday into Thursday. And then we're cold on Friday, 38 with some sunshine. And then we're warm again the next weekend.
You're going to need those umbrellas on Valentine's Day.
Yes. Keep them handy.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's time for sports now. We've got Holden in for Corey tonight.
And I'm sure Corey is kicking himself after seeing this sports slate tonight. It was a big day on the college hoops hardwood with both Illinois and Missouri in action against ranked opponents. But would both teams be able to come away with a win? You're going to want to stick around because sports is next.
The Sports Desk is brought to you by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer, 10 years running.
After dropping their final 5 games before the All-Star break and trading away arguably their best player, the Blues were looking to get back on track tonight against the Arizona Coyotes. Now let's just say taking on the worst team in the league was just what the doctor ordered. After jumping out to escape this one by a final score of 6-5.
You know, it's tough coming off a break like that. You could tell we were flat, but as the game progressed, we got a lot better. And still in that third, we want to be able to shut the door and get rid of that 5-2 and move on. But you know, we found a way to win. And that's important. You know, it's 2 points that we need, and again, just chipping away.
Meanwhile, the Mizzou Tigers spent their Saturday in Rocky Top, and the Vols actually held the early lead in this one until Sean East had something to say about it. He'd knocked down 3 here. He poured in 12 of his 17 points in the first half. But the play of the first half really came from Kobe Brown. Watch as he just muscles his way past the defender here and goes up for the deuce. That's a grown man play right there. Mizzou would blow a 17-point second half lead, and Santiago Vescovi would have a chance to put them up 3, but they call an offensive foul. Earlier in the day in Champaign, Illinois welcomed in the 24th ranked Scarlet Knights from Rutgers, and Coleman Hawkins would give the home fans something to cheer about early. He would pour in 2 of his game-high 18 points there, but that wouldn't stop Rutgers from taking a halftime lead. When in the second half, the Illini would turn things around. That's Terrence Shannon knocking down 3. 12 of his 15 points came after the break. And the Illini would go on a 19-0 run spanning more than 7 minutes. That's capped off by this Matthew Meyer 3 to take the lead, and they'd never look back, winning this one by a final of 69-60. Switching gears over to high school hoops, Vashon honored the 1983 state championship team tonight as they welcome in East St. Louis, but early on it was the Flyers' Caleb Rich who was stealing the headlines. He puts the defender in a spin cycle before kisses it off the glass. That gives the crowd something to dance about. Now if you like defense, you gotta like this. That's going to be Jordan Logan dropping off the nifty pass over to Kennard Davis. He's wearing his PF Flyers tonight. Vashon's defense was just relentless throughout the entire night. Christian Williams comes with the steal. He finds Stovall streaking to the basket for the flush. They run away with this one, 63-48 is your final. And you may have noticed that my main man, Corey Miller, isn't here tonight. That's because he's down in the Sunshine State. Corey's going to be bringing us all things Cardinals starting tomorrow night at 5 o'clock as pitchers and catchers report to kick off spring training. And guys, I have to just venture to guess the weather might be a little bit better there than it is here tonight.
Yeah.
How did you draw that assignment? I mean, where do we pick those
in
straws?
Florida, right?
Yeah.
Back to Vashon, though. Those were two really good teams.
You know, East St. Louis, that's the city of champions. That's always one of the best teams out of the Metro East. Right. Vashon, that's a traditional power here in St. Louis. Love to see them go head-to-head.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you much, Holden. Take us home, my friend.
All right. So we've got sunshine for you tomorrow, 56, and sunny Monday, 57, and both days light wind. Then there's some rain, light rain on Tuesday, but very gusty. Then 67 Wednesday. Really, the only cold day is Friday, and that's it.
All right. Not bad at all. Well, that's all of our time. We appreciate the company. Have a great weekend.